Hey there, I'm Alex. I'm a speech-language pathologist with over a decade of experience working with young children. I'm a specialist in early intervention and neurodivergence. If you've just found me, welcome to Channel Bugaboo. Please subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on all my upcoming content related to autism and child language development. Click that like button if this is the type of video that you find helpful. Over the years, I've guided many families of autistic children through the diagnosis process. No matter where you are on that journey, here's the top 5 things that you need to know. Number 1, the meaning of a diagnosis. You may have heard some conflicting messages about autism. I want to talk about what an autism diagnosis means and how it can empower you to better understand and connect with your child. Let's talk a little bit about the brain. Not everyone thinks or learns in the same way. Some kids are talented at art but struggle with math. Others are great at sports, but have a hard time with reading. Everyone learns some things more easily and others with more effort because every brain is unique. We talk about these differences in the way that people think by looking for patterns. We can categorize these styles of learning into what we call neurotypes, types of brains. If your brain works in a way that's similar to most of the people around you, that's what we call neurotypical, the most common neurotype. On the other hand, if your brain is working in a different way for most of the people around you, that's what we call neurodivergent, a different way to think. Autism is a type of neurodivergence. By getting an autism diagnosis, you are understanding more about the way that your child is thinking, learning, and seeing the world. This can be empowering. When you understand your child, you can make more informed decisions about their care and ensure that they get the treatment that they need to thrive. When you show them that you understand the way that they think, that makes them feel empowered, more confident, and free to be themselves. Then you can deepen your connections with them on an authentic level. That's the true power of diagnosis. Number 2, your child is doing better than it seems. Autism is associated with a delay in speech and language. Especially if you've just finished an assessment, you've probably heard a lot about how your child is behind, what is hard for them, and what skills they are missing. Hearing so much negativity can be overwhelming. However, things are likely more hopeful than they seem. There's a few reasons why autistic children are often underestimated. Let's talk a little bit about learning. Imagine we're teaching a class. Half of the students are strong visual learners, and the other half are strong auditory learners. We have them listen to a lecture and then test them to see how much they learned. The auditory learners score higher than the visual learners. Instead, what if we gave them a diagram to review before testing them? Now, the visual learners are scoring higher than the auditory learners. We can influence how well someone is learning by catering to one learning style or another. So how does this relate to autism and language development? Our society has been optimized around the most common learning style, the most common brains, neurotypicals. Our media, toys, and research are all developed with this neurotype in mind. That means that autistic kids need to work harder to get the same skills that their peers are picking up because they have less support. No wonder they're often presenting as delayed. That's not the only reason that autistic kids score so low. The tools that speech therapists use to assess language progress are all based on research done on neurotypical kids and use neurotypical milestones. These leads to biased results that misrepresent the skills of autistic kids. In my career, I've seen so many kids that came to me with low scores in speech and language go on to develop amazing strengths in communication when they were given the support that they needed. If you want to know more about how I work with kids, you can check out my website. But let's keep going. Number 3, find your child's strengths. Our medical system is Deficit focused, meaning emphasis is placed on the areas that need the most help. The problem with this approach is that sometimes it can miss strengths which are just as important. I've worked with many young autistic kids who've made rapid progress by tapping into their passions and talents. Some of the kids I've worked with have a deep interest in letters and numbers that has led to early reading and math skills. Others have been highly motivated to learn as much as they can about their passions, such as dinosaurs or animals. Honing strengths is essential for child development. Not only does it help to build confidence and curiosity, but children can draw on their strengths to overcome challenges. I worked with a kid who grew his vocabulary from less than 5 words to over 200 words because he was so motivated to talk about construction vehicles, what they could do, and what they look like. I integrated his passion for trucks and diggers into his treatment to help his language grow. To find your child's strengths, spend some time watching them play. Do you notice patterns in what they do? Are they showing strengths in organization by sorting toys? Maybe they are showing an understanding of size, shapes, or color. Observing them can help you connect with what drives their curiosity and enhances their learning. Number 4, know what services are available. Early childhood is a critical period where kids develop key foundational skills. Your child's care team may have already recommended additional services for your child, or you might be curious about what's available. Let's chat about it. I'm a speech-language pathologist, an SLP. I have a graduate degree and specialized training in childhood communication. Speech therapy sessions focus on improving expression as well as understanding others. Autistic children are also commonly referred for other therapies. Occupational therapists, OTs, can help children with functional daily skills as well as precise movements. Physical therapists, PTs, can focus on big movements like running and walking. OTs and PTs also have a lot of knowledge about autistic children's sensory needs. Both of these professions require a doctorate to practice and bring a lot of specialized knowledge that can make a huge difference in a child's life. Like others, autistic kids often become frustrated when communication breaks down. They don't have a lot of experience in managing those big emotions, and that can lead to tantrums, crying, and other big reactions. With appropriate support and evidence-based care, most of the autistic children that I've worked with have learned to more easily and effectively communicate and self-regulate. This leads to less frustration and fewer meltdowns. However, to the untrained eye, these friction points can seem like bad behavior. Often, autistic kids are referred for behavioral therapy, ABA, just because they are autistic. Not all autistic children have problematic behaviors or require behavioral therapy. Unlike the other professionals I've talked about, becoming a behavioral interventionist, or BI, requires only a high school diploma and a relatively short period of training. Behavior therapists cannot provide the same level of specialized care as an SLP, OT, or PT. If you want to know more about why I don't recommend behavioral therapy, leave a comment below. Number 5, you have the power to make a difference. So many caregivers have come to me telling me about their guilt and frustration when they see their child struggle. Please take a moment and remind yourself you are doing all you can. You're amazing. You're watching this video and it's clear you're already taking the initiative in supporting your child. You have the power to direct your child's care. Professionals like me have training and resources, but you are the expert on what works best for your family. Take the time to ensure that your child's care plan addresses your concerns and that your child's therapists are targeting goals that impact your daily interactions. Don't be shy about asking questions and finding out why therapists are using certain techniques. If you're able to, I would recommend joining in on your child's therapy sessions. See for yourself what's working well and what could be adjusted. Ask your therapist for activities to practice between sessions or tips on addressing real-life challenges. You are the most important part of your child's treatment. In my experience, the autistic children whose caregivers have been the most involved have achieved the fastest progress. Now you know the most important things. Thank you so much for watching this video. If it made a difference to you, don't forget to give it a like and share it. Subscribe to my channel to make sure that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming content, and make sure that those notifications are turned on. Was there anything in this video that resonated with you? any questions that you might have, anything you want me to cover in further detail, let me know in the comments down below. If you're interested in working with me, I currently have availability for speech and language therapy and assessments through my private practice, Bugaboo Speech Therapy Inc. I see kids in home throughout the San Diego area and virtually in California. Go to my website to schedule your free consultation today and find out how I can help your family start their communication journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!